is the tutorial for the Mongol Empire combat, basic combat system. So I have here my dummy, and we will be going over the basic knowledge of combat, so I don't need to repeat myself 20 more times in the game. So, in the game you got your shield, you got your sword, you got this energy right here. This energy goes down when you stab or when your shield gets stabbed. And when somebody hits your shield, they get stunned for a bit, and then you can hit them while they're stunned. So that's called a counter. If somebody hits your shield and they're stunned and you hit them back, that's a counter. So with my bot here, so with that knowledge that if you hit their shield, you obviously don't want to hit their shield, so you want to get to their back. So here's a few ways to hit their back. So one is obviously rotating around. This is for beginners, by the way, so people who are actually good at the game, you don't gotta watch this, but this is for all the new people. So obviously you want to rotate around and like get their back. So that's one. Another way is, so if we're here, we unshift lock because, oh, I need to go over that. Okay, so there's different speeds. I'm not sure about this game, but there's different speeds in generic Dr. Tech games. When you're going forward, you're at like 15 speed. When you're going sideways, 14 speed. Backwards, 13 speed. If you're holding two keys at once, so say right now I'm holding, I'm going sideways and forward at the same time, the sideways will override the forward. So I'm going 14 speed right now. Instead of if I was just going forwards, I'd be going 15 speed. So that's why when you're unshift locked, you're always going forward. Now you can abuse this in PvP. There's many different things you can do, but I'm not going to be going over that. So anyways, so when you're here, another way to get their back is if you unshift lock, jump over their head. So we're going to pretend like I jumped over their head right there. So you jump over their head, but you reshift lock midair. So like this. So you're here, unshift lock, and then, oh, we're going to find a different block. Okay, this guy right here. So I'm shift locked, unshift lock, jump over his head, spin, and turn like that. See, unshift locked, reshift lock midair, and then as soon as you're about to land, like here, so I stab when I'm there. At that point, so see, stab there, and then you just turn and you got their back. So yeah, then one last one, and it's like kind of a glitch. You should only use this if you're being chased. So say he's chasing me, hold up. Alright, so say this guy right here is chasing me, then what I could do is you could do the, jump over, hit his back thing, but you see, sometimes that won't get them every time. This will get them every time because of latency. So say he's chasing me, you unshift locked, go to his side, hit his side. I can't really demonstrate with the bot, but if you go, say if I'm right next to him, like here, like even, yeah, like right here, and I stab the air and I spin like that, it will hit his back. Even though I'm not behind him, I'm at his side. It's just a glitch. But you shouldn't use that in actual PvP. It will not work, I'm telling you. So those are 3 ways to take their back. Then some more stuff is never attack like this. Because if you attack like this, you're leaving yourself open to all attacks. You're going to die in 3 seconds. Another thing is when your shield is stunned, you drop it for like 1.5 seconds or something like that. In that amount of time, you can get stabbed once. If the person you're fighting is fast, reflexes, and there's a latency difference. Because if you're in a server where your country is, like look here. If I say server, it tells me the location. So this is in region, and that's where it is. So yeah, so this tells you where the server is. So the server's here, so that means I'd be the best in the server because I live by this area. So latency is basically if that shit said like somewhere in Africa, then I would be much worse because the server's in Africa, and it's by the server. So if you're not by the server, it's harder for you, but that doesn't mean anything. I can still be extremely good in servers that are in Japan, so never let that make you bad. Anyways, another thing, yeah, don't do that. There's a thing called bashing. So as you can see, there's energy. When you hit their shield, it lowers their energy and yours when you hit, but it will lower their shield more. So when you want to bash someone, like break their shield, if like you can't get their back and they're turtling. Turtling is basically when you're just being defensive and you're trying to heal, not take any damage. yeah, you just want to break their shield. You should do that when it's like a 2v1. If it's a 1v1, you shouldn't bash unless you're like good and you feel confident and they're low on energy, then you should bash. But for everybody watching this, you should just only bash if there's 2 of us or more. And then yeah, and then another thing is, say if you accidentally did hit a shield, what you want to do is, say I'm stunned right now, you want to go like that. So say, oh, I got bashed, and then unshift lock like that, and then reshift lock when you're done. But you should always keep your shield on the enemy at all times. Never take your shield off of them. Always keep your shield up. Never drop it. Never do that. And yeah, I think that's everything. Anyways, easy tutorial. I'm gonna quiz everybody watching this in order to get ranked up. But anyways,